great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Today is July 25th. I am Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer extraordinaire, practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Chicago, Illinois. I will have you all know I am operating on 4 hours of sleep. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm a little tired. So hopefully I will not be crabby today. I'm going to do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to protect other people, and to obey the law of the pack. That was my old Cub Scout motto. How's everybody doing? How's your week? Can you believe it's Friday already? Can you believe July is almost over? When does July end? I think let's see, today's the 25th, so 30 days has to turn. So the 30th would be sometime next week, so 26, 27. Wow, the month is almost over, and then we're in August. No rest for the weary. August is going to be just as crazy as July, I think, although travel softball is going to take a little break. So here we are. I'll be here for the next hour and a half, trying to answer as many of your immigration law-related questions as I can. Let me say hello to some of our friends. Craig is here. Big ups from Craig. Hello, Craig. Hope says hello. Kevin says hello to everyone. Malte says thank you. Erica says happy Friday, everyone. Tyrone says bless up, y'all. Sonia says good afternoon to Jim. Vasu's here. Trudy, blessed weekend to me and to everybody. GNGU Tech, hello. Path Divergence gives a big ups. Got big ups all around. Daisy's giving big ups. Let's see. Cosette is here. Shauna is here. Yeah, I missed doing the show yesterday. I'm glad to be back too. I'll be doing a show tomorrow and probably on Sunday. Oh, it's hot in Baltimore, huh? Well, it's hot here in St. Louis too. We have been outside for all week in Indiana. Yeah, I am tired, Kevin. I am tired. I'm going to hopefully get a good night's sleep. Nurse Laura is here. We'll be doing a show tomorrow. Oh, Laura saw her last patient of the week, so that's great. Shauna is also operating on 4 hours of sleep. I am not good when I operate on 4 hours of sleep. I had to drive last night from Indianapolis, and we got home around 2 in the morning. So there you go. Buenas tardes to Soledad. Paige is here. Hello. Shauna says hello. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to talk to Goodfella and then Malte. Goodfella.
Hello, Mr.
Hello.
Jim.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for taking my call. So
Sure.
I'm calling for my friend Bridget. She actually called the office in Chicago, but didn't get any response. So
Okay.
I would like to ask several questions for her. Her citizen daughter is petitioning for her for adjustment of status. And she actually had in 2012 municipal ordinance citation, and the police report says no criminal charges, no conviction, and police report was not approved, and no fingerprinting. So her attorney didn't disclose in I-485, and she is wondering if it's bad issue for interview, or
Did she get arrested?
it's too late. No, she was not arrested, not fingerprinted, not convicted, no criminal charges.
Did she get a ticket, like a citation to come to court?
Yeah, municipal ordinance citation.
So if she received a citation, then the answer to the question of have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained is yes.
Yeah, but she said her attorney said it's irrelevant since was no conviction or criminal charges.
I believe that's incorrect.
Uh-oh. So what
It's
she's
not
supposed to
a
do now?
big deal. So just when she goes there, bring proof that it never went anywhere and say, I got cited, but they dropped the case. There was no case. Here's proof.
Oh, okay. And now she's asking, could USCIS still find her that police report was not approved?
I don't understand the question.
I mean, since police report was not approved, can USCIS still see in the records that police report?
I have no idea, but that doesn't matter. We don't choose on what we disclose based on what we think they can find.
Correct. Okay, and 130. Okay, and how 130 was approved a week ago, and she is wondering if USCIS had that police report, wouldn't have they issued RFE for that?
She's asking strange questions. I don't think it's framed the right way. I mean, are you saying, do you think that if they did a background check and it was something that they were concerned about, that they would send her a request for evidence? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. If she wants to disclose it, she should disclose it. If it's going to make her feel better, she should disclose it.
Yeah, she definitely wants to disclose it.
Well, when she has her interview, she can bring it with her. That's it.
Okay. So, and another question, if on the website, the step 4 was for I-485, step 4 was marked completed, and then a week ago it went back to step 3 and the interview was issued very soon in 2 weeks. So is it that sign?
It's no sign at all. Spend no time watching those fools and what they put on their electronic updates. It doesn't mean anything. In her case, proves it said it was done. Now it went back to step 3. None of that stuff matters.
Okay. So can she still call your office and try to hire you, or it's too late?
Where would the interview be?
Chicago.
Yeah, we can handle it.
But an interview in August 12th. So is that would be okay?
Maybe.
Because
yeah.
they scheduled.
Yeah. Just send us when does she have the actual notice?
Do you have the notice? Yes, she does.
Yeah, send us over the notice and contact information, and we'll follow up right away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Jim.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. See, I didn't get mad. I didn't lose my temper. I'm not getting mad. I'm in a good mood, right? Haha. By the way, today is a sad day. Our friend Maria Jose, who's been helping run marketing with me for the last 4 years, is leaving us. Today's her last day. So we love Maho and we wish her well, but we're sad to see her go. Our friend Romel is coming over from intake, and he's going to work with us in marketing now. So exciting. And one of our big plans is to work a lot on our Chicago office. Malte is here. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. How are you doing?
All right. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just had a few questions revolving my case that, so basically I had my I-485 denied about a little over 3 months ago, actually. Reason why it's taken me this long basically to figure out what to do next is, well, there's a list of reasons, but yeah, I'm a little bit confused what to do now because so it was denied because I did not send in there were 1 or 2, I think, tax forms that my wife did not put in that, or added to the file that I had to send in. So that was missing, and then there was the vaccination records, which I already knew from a month prior to like the final date that they gave me to send in the information, that I wasn't going to be able to have that in time. And so I talked to somebody from USCIS, and they told me, oh, well, that's fine. You can just send in everything you do have, and then you can send the vaccination records later. So that's what I ended up doing. And then they gave me a denial notice just a few days after, I think, after when I actually was able to send in my vaccination records.
Okay.
So,
So,
and now I'm just curious
okay.
if I should just refile or.
Where are you from?
So I'm from the Netherlands.
And when did you come to the United States?
It's about 2 years ago now.
What kind of a visa? ESTA or something?
Well, I think it was a K3, I'm pretty sure.
You mean a K1?
No, I'm pretty sure it's a K3 because I was married to my wife in the Netherlands. So initially we wanted to do a K1, but then that's a fiance visa, right? So then you'd have to get married in the US.
So you got married overseas?
Yes, that's right.
And then your spouse filed what application for you?
The K3, and then the I-130, right? And then the I-129F.
Okay, so the I-130 got approved,
Yes.
and then you got a visa to come to the United States,
Yeah, that's right.
and then you came to the United States. Did you pay your Ellis fee before you came to the United States?
My what fee, sorry?
Your Ellis fee, your ELIS fee.
Oh, I'm not sure what that is actually. It's the first time I'm hearing about this.
Okay, so did so USCIS approved the I-130, right?
Yeah.
And then you process at the National Visa Center. Your spouse filled out the DS-260 and the affidavit of support documents, and you got documentally qualified. Then you got scheduled for an interview in the Netherlands. Is that right?
Not in the Netherlands, no. Because, oh, well, so we scheduled an appointment first in the Netherlands, but because that's why, like, we first took the route of taking a K1 and, you know, going through the plan initially was to get married in the US, but then we found out that it was going to take about 4 months or so to get the appointment in the Netherlands. And so we were like, well, we don't really have that time. And so I was like, well, we got to figure out a different way of doing it. And that's when we decided on, you know, what we currently did. And so that's when we didn't actually have to go to the US embassy in the Netherlands. So
you were at that point you were inside the United States?
no, we were wait, at which point are you referring to?
My brother, you're doing all this without a lawyer so far?
Yes.
This is a much bigger mess than it needed to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to realize.
So
sadly.
Okay. Right now you're in the United States, right?
Yes, that's right. For about 2 years now.
And when you entered 2 years ago, how did you enter? Did you enter on visa waiver program? Did you have a visa? Did you enter on ESTA? Did you enter on your approved I-130?
Oh man, so I'm pretty sure, but I guess I cannot really say with complete certainty that I entered with the I-130. Yes.
Well, so did you have an interview at the embassy?
I did not know.
Okay. So, okay. But at some point we know you filed a 485 because it got denied, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you must have been present in the United States when you filed your 485.
Yeah, that's right.
But you don't know how you entered the United States.
Well, yeah, I just can't really recall exactly if it was the I-130 or if it was an ESTA. It could have been an ESTA. I'm just not that sure anymore, honestly.
Had you entered the United States before this last entry?
Oh yeah, many times.
So you've been coming as a citizen of the Netherlands for many years, for like 30 or 60 days at a time, right?
Yep, that's right.
And just to be clear, USCIS did approve the I-130.
Yeah.
And then you guys thought, well, it'd be a long wait for this interview in the Netherlands, and so therefore you filed for adjustment, and then it got denied about 4 months ago.
Yes, that's right. I think it was April 8th or something like that.
Okay.
Not the denial notice.
So you're out of status. You're well out of status. You understand
Yes,
that?
that's right. Right, yeah.
I think you need our help. I think
Mhm.
you need to file a new green card application, and I think you need to do it right away because you're this close to getting a notice to appear in immigration court and be deported. So I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that this has all been handled a little bit loosey goosey, and we
Yes.
probably want to turn that around. If you have your vaccination stuff squared away, we can help you with the taxes and get you a new green card case on file. But we need to move quickly because you're one wrong turn from getting deported from the United States for 10 years.
Yeah.
So do you want to email us, or Huli, do you have his contact information? She's got you. Okay, Huli's going to the intake team's going to reach out to you, Malte, here today, probably because it's so urgent, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about something. I've been thinking about this lately. So we understand that USCIS is now working pretty closely with ICE to effectuate deportations. And we know that Stephen Miller has this quota where he wants them to deport, I don't know, it's 2,000 people a day or 10,000 people a day. I think it's 10,000 people a day or whatever it is. And we know that, at first they said they were going to focus on criminals. And then in order to meet their quotas, they are actually, finding immigrants where they can. And, that rule came out in February that said that if you receive a denial notice, in most cases, you're going to receive a notice to appear. I think that's all designed towards help meeting that quota. And I was thinking the other day that what I think is going to start happening is they're going to start going back to cases like Maltese, like they were denied before that policy really went into effect. And, this surprised a lot of people when Donald Trump took office. But when I would tell people, in the old days, if you got a denial notice, you didn't get a notice to appear in court. And some people who didn't really understand how immigration worked thought that was strange. They thought, well, if you don't have a legal basis to stay and USCIS denies you, then doesn't it make sense you get sent to deportation? And it's so weird. I've been in the system for so long that I didn't see it like an outside person might see it, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is, I think that in a certain way, not saying that I like this or anything, but in a certain way, the idea that a notice to appear goes with a denial notice shouldn't be that earth-shattering. It shouldn't be that earth-shattering that if you're in the United States, the government knows you're here, you're out of status, and you apply for a benefit, and that benefit gets denied. It shouldn't be breaking news that you also receive a notice to appear. That seems like a logical outgrowth of an immigration system that distinguishes between people who have the ability to stay here and those who don't. So I'm not advocating that happen, but I think it's something that in a way makes sense and that we're going to see more of that. And I also think that thing is here to stay. When USCIS is granted more power or takes more power for itself, historically, they don't give it back. So I think that this new normal of denial notice equals notice to appear, I think that's how it's going to be for a long time. I don't think if a Democrat ever takes office again in the White House and begins looking at our immigration policy, I don't think that's one that they would undo. I think that they would, I guess if it comes down to resources and stuff, but of course now ICE has unlimited resources. So I think that's gonna happen. And I don't think it's that they're gonna give that power back. But the point I'm trying to make is that on cases like Maltese or people that, let's say people got denied a year ago or 2 years ago under Biden and they didn't receive a notice to appear, I believe that once they start clearing out these backlogs at USCIS, then they're going to start looking through their for more people to find. People who have filed asylum cases and never got deported. People who filed for a green card and never got deported. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more. Yeah, see, that's what Laura said too. I think a lot of things that Trump is implementing are going to be permanent changes in the U.S. Like, for instance, it's now okay, apparently, for law enforcement officers to not have a name tag and to not show their face. Do we think that's going to change? Do you think that's going to stop? I don't think so. Not with the cowards we have in Congress, not anytime soon. And again, it's power that they're taking for themselves that they're not going to give back, right? They don't want you to be able to film them. They don't want you to be able to document what they're doing. They don't want you to be able to identify who it is that's breaking these laws when they're rounding up brown people. I don't think these things are going to change. So that's where we're at. And so, you know, people like Malte and others who have a path to stay, you need to really hurry up. You need to really hurry up. Ainsley's here. Hello, Ainsley.
Hi, Jim. Oh my goodness, so exciting. I love your show so much, and thank you for everything that you do.
Awesome.
I have a few questions. I hope none of them are too frustrating, but I thought I could just give you like a brief rundown where my husband and I are at in the process.
Great.
He was on an F1 student visa for 6 years, 4 for undergrad, 2 for MBA. And while he was finishing his last year, we got engaged and married, and I filed in June for his I-130, in July for his I-485 and I-765 while he was still in status. I'll probably say your least favorite words ever, which is we did it without a lawyer.
No, my least favorite words are affidavit of support, but that's okay.
But that's what I was about to follow it up with, is actually another tax question. So we're both 24. So I submitted my most recent tax return with the application. I make now, well above what the threshold is, but I was a full-time student for the years before that, and my dad claimed me as a dependent. So I only included my most recent one. I was wondering what your advice would be on if I should get like my dad's 2 years before that as proof that like he claimed me, if my short income history, even as like a relatively recent college grad, would impact our standing. I was a little naive when I submitted it. It was like, oh, my salary is well above this, I should have nothing to worry about, but it doesn't show like consistent income over time.
So you need a co-sponsor. It's not just a matter of getting your dad's tax returns to show that you were listed as his dependent. You don't qualify to sponsor your husband.
With like the short income history?
You have to have all 3 years. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's understood. Thank you. That's very helpful. Can I do that through unsolicited evidence on his 485 profile, or do I need to wait for like an RFE for that?
I would, that's a good question. I would focus on getting the co-sponsor, getting all their identifying documents, getting their tax returns and their income, proof of income, the proof of current employment. I would first focus on getting that all ready. Then you might think about uploading it. I think that even if you upload it, you still might get the RFE, but go ahead. I don't think there's a downside to doing that.
Okay. And then, I mean, I guess if we upload it online, we still have it all organized in one place and ready to go if we get an RFE. Yeah. My second question was on the I-130 for unsolicited evidence, how you recommend, like to what degree you recommend applicants utilizing that. If we should just like every few months while we're waiting for an interview, upload stuff just as like a, hey, we're still happily married, or just like right before the interview, or just take paper copies of everything when we go.
My understanding is officers aren't too keen on getting paper copies now at interviews because they have to scan that shit themselves.
Yeah.
So I think they appreciate you doing it for them. So, and I wouldn't do it periodically. I would say, when you get your interview notice, you're going to have at least 4 to 6 weeks. I would do it in that window.
Okay, that's super helpful. And if I can just ask one more question, I know you guys have a firm in the Washington, D.C. area. We're filing through the Washington, D.C. field office in Fairfax.
Yep.
So I was just wondering if like your firm's familiarity with that. I've read some not great things on like the different immigration forums about the field office. If you like can do maybe a brief rundown on like what to expect specific to that field office and like your guys' experience.
Sure. So we have a lot of cases in Fairfax. I would say St. Louis, Chicago, and Fairfax are where we are the most. And I would say that historically, I've been very impressed by the Fairfax office, although I will say sometimes some officers there are slow to come out. Like they come out an hour and a half late, 2 hours late, like it's not a big deal. Like they don't really care about that. But I would say since Donald Trump came back into office, Fairfax has been a bit of a shit show. I've been getting a lot more complaints on the show. I've been getting a lot more complaints from our attorneys that go there. I think that it's just been a bit of a mess since the change in administration. Historically, I always thought, well, Fairfax, you got a lot of government workers. You're very close to the center of the government, and so you had sort of a law and order type approach to the office. And like during COVID, they were pretty much hard asses. And, I think a lot of times field offices take on the personality of the area in which they are. And I always thought Fairfax was sort of like a regular, well-run government office. But based on what I'm hearing lately, it's a bit of a mess. None of this is really going to impact your case or the way it's adjudicated. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. And, like we had this call yesterday from somebody who went to a pretty tough immigration office, but they had a really nice, in LA, they had a really nice officer. So I don't really spend much time or energy thinking about, well, is this a good office? Is this a bad office? Other than to say that the Denver office is the worst in the country because I hate those people. But other than that, I don't, because you can get the nicest officer in a bad office and vice versa.
Great. Well, this is super helpful information, and thank you again so much for your time.
Good luck, kid.
Thanks.
See ya. All right, that was Ainsley. I like that name, Ainsley. I never really heard that name, Ainsley, until a couple of years ago. There's a girl on Nora's softball team named Ainsley. All right. We got VP in the house. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So I talked with you before. You remember I had like 6 traffic tickets I told you like a while ago?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
I remember the people I talked to yesterday.
Okay. Okay. So my case is straightforward except the traffic tickets, and I had my green card interview on the 30th June, and officer didn't ask me anything about my traffic tickets. It was just like yes or no questions about 485, and we were verbally told that me and my spouse are approved for the green card, and we would receive the green card in 2 weeks. So since then, there is no update on the portal regarding the approval, not even on I-130 or 485. It only says case actively being reviewed. So is there any way like we can contact them? I tried to reach out via congressman in our city, but I haven't heard back from the USCIS yet.
How long has the case been on file altogether?
I filed in January 2025.
So it's only 6 months old.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about this at all until the end of the year. I think that sometimes people get scheduled for an interview pretty quickly. I doubt it has anything to do with your traffic tickets, but we're seeing a lot. The I-130 hasn't been approved either?
None of them, but the officer told that I'm approved. And
that doesn't mean anything.
Okay, so verbal approvals doesn't mean
no, it doesn't mean shit. You can't take that to the bank. You can't go to work and say, here's my proof. They said I got a green card coming. I mean, to me, they lie. Sometimes they lie because they're being nice. Sometimes they lie because they're just being sloppy or lazy. So nothing means anything until you have the benefit in hand.
Okay. So there's like nothing we can contact them like for the updates. It's just like waiting.
Yeah, you can contact them. You can bother the shit out of them. Whether it's going to do much, I don't know. Right?
Okay.
But you can feel free to do whatever you want.
Okay. I just contacted the congressman. They already put down the privacy notice to them about the situation. I'm not sure how long does it takes to get a response from them.
I'm just saying, you know, I don't think anybody gets too worked up about a pending green card case until at least a year has gone by.
Okay. Alrighty.
Thanks, VP.
Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right. Let's go to humanitarian reinstatement. Hello.
Hello, Jim.
Hi. Are you there? Hello. I heard a hi, Jim, and then that was it. All right, let's go to Muscab. Hello.
Hi, Jim.
How
Can
you
you hear
doing?
me?
Yeah, I can.
Good. How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you doing?
It's going great. Just stressing out here. I had my interview on July the 14th with my wife, and I came here initially on an F1 visa. And the interview went well. The officer was nice. He was even cracking jokes with us at some point, and it went well. But then one question he asked had me thinking after the interview. So he asked me if I ever violated. To be exact, he asked me if I violated my F1 status, which I answered no at the time, thinking if he meant when I was filing the I-485. But then, to be exact and give you a little bit of background information, on July the 2nd, my school reached out to me and that they told me 2024 fall semester, on 2024 fall semester, one of my classes, I got a grade of withdrawal. And that put me under the 12 credits needed for the F1 status, and this violated my F1 status.
Uh-huh.
And it was a week before my interview that they terminated my civics.
Okay.
And I kept it and I maintained it for since I filed my 485. I tried my best to go to school and everything, but I had some issues with that class. I was not doing good, and I thought if I focused on the other two classes, I would get an F on that class and do it again on the next semester. But I didn't get an F. I got a withdrawal, which put me under the credits needed for the F1. So
Okay.
what I'm thinking about right now is, and what I'm worried about is, did I mispresent myself when I said no to that question, or?
Well, so are you married to a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And has the I-130 been approved?
No.
Okay. And so when the officer asked you this, did you have the sense they were asking you about a specific thing that they were thinking of, or do you think they were just going over all the questions on the forms?
Yeah, they were going over the yes and no questions on the form.
Yeah.
The inadmissibility ones.
Yeah. So I would send a letter. Did you write down the name of the officer who interviewed you?
Yeah, his name was Wilson.
Okay, so I would send a letter, Dear Officer Wilson. After I got home from my interview, I was reflecting on my answers that I gave you, and one of the questions you asked me was whether I ever violated the terms of my status, and I thought you meant up until the time of filing. But it occurred to me when I got home that I had flunked a class. I had what I thought was flunked a class, but they treated it as a withdrawal, and therefore they terminated my CVIS record. So I think the actual answer to question whatever it is, part 3, question 37 is yes and not no.
Okay, I was thinking of doing that.
Make sure you send it with proof of delivery, like Federal Express.
Okay. So I wouldn't put it on the USCIS portal. I would have to mail it to them.
I would send it to him, to Officer Wilson, and I would put it on the portal.
So which address would I mail it to? The USCIS
At the field office.
them?
The field office where your interview was. Yeah, I would include a copy of your interview notice.
Oh, okay. And one thing to mention is he actually told us that he fully intends to approve us. He
Yeah.
can talk to us about what kind of green card I'm going to be getting, and how I need to remove the conditions and all of that. And one thing that he mentioned as we were about to leave that I found interesting was I would have approved you guys on the spot here. I have some stuff to do on my side that I need to review. And he also mentioned that there are some issues that come up with the F1 usually. That's what he said.
Yeah. Again, I wrote down, I'm going to make a video this weekend that says the things that an officer says, or the things that USCIS says, or the things that the online portal says does not mean jack squat. It doesn't mean anything. Not until you have your green card, none of that stuff matters.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, got it. And he said I should be getting a response within 1 to 2 weeks, and today marks the second week. So I was wondering if I should be sending the explanation letter or not.
I would.
Okay, thank you. I will be doing that. Thank you so much.
Bye, Muscab. See you, buddy. All right, all right. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration lawyer. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that. If you're not following us on TikTok, you might do that. That's at Immigration Hacking. We just filed for a trademark for at Immigration Hacking, so that's fun. Hey, listen, I need to do some videos in the next couple of weeks, so if you have topics for me, lay them on me if you want something in particular, obviously not about your case, but if you have a general immigration legal question, you can leave it in the comments and I'll pull it up for a topic. Maybe I'll shoot it tomorrow when I'm doing my videos. We will do a show tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central will be our Saturday show. I'm going to Dallas for an interview next week. What else? If you have a minute, you can leave us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate it. Reviewhackinglaw.com, www.reviewhackinglaw.com. All right, let's go to 2 quick questions. Hello.
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. And yourself?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you for taking my call. So the first question is regarding the N400. You know, where it asks if you've ever been arrested, cited, detained, etc. So my auntie, who's 63, she's had her green card since she's been 3. She's filing for her N400. She hasn't done it just out of inertia, and she didn't really think it mattered. Now she watches the news, and she's getting scared, so she's filing for citizenship.
Yep.
She thinks back in her 20s or 30s, she might have gotten a speeding ticket or 2. She went to the DMV, got the records. It was I think it only went back 10 or 15 years. Her records were clean, but she wants to know if she should just put yes for the answer to that question because she thinks she might have gotten a speeding ticket 30 some odd years ago.
Yeah, and could she say under oath that she took care of them? She doesn't have any outstanding warrants. She took care whatever traffic tickets she got 3 decades ago. They've all been taken care of. She can say yes to that.
Yes, absolutely. She's pretty straight laced. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be it.
Okay, and we'll put that in part 4, right? We don't want to try to explain that in the boxes right underneath 15B, right?
I would agree.
What's that?
I would agree.
Okay. Just I'll put C part 14 for this. And my second quick question is, my buddy at work, he's filing for a green card for his wife. She only speaks Spanish. He speaks English and Spanish. Can he be her interpreter, even though they're filing the I-130 and the 485?
I think that's a bad form. So as far as going over the forms with her, I would have somebody other than her husband go over them with him, someone who's fluent in Spanish and English. And if you're talking about bringing a translator to the interview, I would bring in a disinterested party to that interview.
Okay, but the interpreter for the forms, it could be just maybe another person they know?
Yeah, someone who's willing to sign that they translated it in English and Spanish and that they're fluent in both.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time and everything you do, sir.
You got it, brother. All right, they weren't lying. That was 2 quick questions. Note to self and to all of you, be careful who you bring as your translator to your interview. We had a case in the office here the last couple of weeks where somebody wanted to bring a family member and we said no, and then they got a family friend who had allegedly been a translator, and it was a total shit show. They didn't know how to translate. As far as, you know, the one place where people get in trouble is like the officer will ask, you know, have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained? And the translator will translate that into Spanish or Arabic or whatever it is, and then the beneficiary will say in their language, "No, I've never been arrested, cited, or detained." And then the translator would say, "Oh, he says he never got arrested, cited, or detained." So that's not translating. Translating is saying exactly the words that are being said, and from both sides. So be careful who you select as a translator, and make sure that they have done official translations before. All right. Edgar's here. Hello. Hello, Edgar.
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
Good, sir. Thank you for having the show. Really appreciate it.
Good.
So I have a question regarding STEM OPT status. I'm on my last year at my job on STEM, and I have one more chance at the H-1B next year. However, I would like to start anticipating for possible options because of the lottery. And so I've been hearing about either day one CPT programs, and I'm trying to get my employer to start perm soon. But I understand in the current climate with the timing, 1 year is not enough for perm. So I guess the question I have is, what is the risk associated with switching over to a day one CPT program while perm is in process?
So I believe that when it comes to USCIS and it comes to people who are H-1B adjacent, that USCIS looks very harshly on first day CPT. So curricular practical training is supposed to be part of someone's regular academic career, and it's not supposed to be a workaround for when you don't get selected in the H-1B lottery. So I think that for people who submit for the lottery 2, 3, 4 times and don't get selected, and then suddenly enroll in a master's program with first day CPT and work 5 days a week, 10 hours a day at their job, and then go to class at the university for a Saturday, Sunday, once a month, I think that screams abuse of the immigration process, and I beg you not to do that.
Okay, understood. Thanks for the advice.
Yeah. I mean, there's just been a lot of crackdowns on it. We've seen a lot of, we've seen situations where people do get the employer to do a perm and get a green card application on file, then they file for adjustment, and then USCIS finds out about first day CPT, then they do a big investigation, and then off we go, and we're in trouble.
Right. The only option I think I would have is exploring the O1 visa. Just the requirements for that seem a little
high,
stringent, a little high, yes.
Yeah.
But starting to explore.
What's your employer? What's your employer waiting for?
They are just wanting to start perm, but also they are also doubtful about day one CPT. But they do not sponsor O1 visa, so I would have to look for an agent or.
No, but why aren't they starting? Why didn't they start on the green card 2 years ago?
Oh, they didn't, because the policy here was try the H-1B first. So.
Yeah. All right, cool. Any other questions?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Good luck, brother. Robert didn't get the YouTube alert. Remember, friends, if you want to be alerted like an OG, text the word show to 314-470-3300, and you'll get a text telling you exactly when we're going live. All right, let's go to Sella. Hello, Sella.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I got a couple of questions. So, I came here in 2022 on a visa, and I applied asylum within a year, but I overstayed before I applied for asylum because my lawyer said like it is okay as long as it is within a year. So, like because of like the recent news about like overstaying and the risk of being detained, since I overstayed before actually I apply for asylum, how likely do you think I am to get detained?
At your asylum interview, you mean? I don't think you'll be detained at your asylum interview. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, my case is pending so far at Arlington Asylum Office.
Yeah.
So, since I actually like technically overstayed before I applied for asylum, am I likely to get a detained while my asylum is pending?
I don't think so.
Mm, okay. And another question is that like I'm from the country where TPS is eligible for.
Uh-huh.
So, do you recommend filing a TPS while my asylum is pending? And is there like in case like let's assume that I'm like denied at USCIS, will it like will it is there a risk of like not having the opportunity to fight my case in immigration court? Like what is like the downs and the advantage of filing TPS while on pending asylum?
There's no downside. You should definitely do it.
Yeah, so what I heard is that if I get like rejected at USCIS interview, I will not get to the court. I'm just gonna stay on the TPS, and when the TPS in this like the final thing will be like for me to leave the country, I will not get the opportunity to fight my asylum at immigration court. Is that the case, or like what is the scenario like?
That's incorrect. So if you apply for TP, I mean, first of all, TPS is probably going to run out before they decide your asylum case. But if it didn't, if your TPS was still in the books, then you would be I mean, who knows how it's all going to work out just because things are so messy right now. But I I would not I would not be afraid of filing for TPS because I think it's going to mess up my asylum procedure. That's not something that's to me that whatever benefits there are to TPS outweigh whatever minimal chance there is of the TPS screwing up your ability to argue for asylum in court. You would still get your day in court.
Okay, so it's just the 3 years my case is pending.
Mhm.
Do you recommend like filing mandamus lawsuit, or is it too early?
Oh, you could. It depends on how strong your case is, and what happens if you get denied. You get sent to deportation court. That's not so fun.
Okay, that's a good insight. Thank you so much.
Bye, Stella. See you, buddy.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Just so you know, Laura or Hoolie's working hard over there. She's bouncing all around, sending messages, talking to the intake team, talking to CCD, talking to people in the chat. So we appreciate all of her hard work. Let's see what TikTok has to say. Oh, somebody gave me a little red rose. I don't get any red roses on YouTube except for my man Yasher. Yasher's always giving me roses. Is the usual process to have the I-45 interview without the I-130? No, the usual process is to have them both together. Quick question: is your work permit still valid after I-45 is denied and you just refiled? No, it's not. I'm married to a U.S. citizen for 25 years. I have a green card. Can I apply for citizenship without the test? So it depends how old you are. How long does it take to adjust status for U.S. citizen parents if they're in the United States? Depends where they live. I would say anywhere from 3 to 6 to 12 months. Darshan, hello. Hello, Darshan.
Hey Jim. Hey Jim. Thanks a lot for doing this. I really appreciate it, Jim.
Sure.
Jim, I had a question on the LLCs and stuff. I'm currently on my H-1B visa and my wife is on an L-1 visa. And I would like to know if I'm allowed to open a single member LLC in the US. I can be a passive member for sure, and I don't need to actively manage any business. Can you please clarify if that's permissible, under the visa status?
If you can't do any of those things, why do it at all?
Yes.
I'm asking, why do you want to do it if you can't, why would you do it?
So basically, I have a couple of ideas that I want to work on the side. Some tech ideas. So I just wanted to understand if I can start as a passive member and open some LLC and then and then if all goes well, then I can become an active member.
What is your long-term play for immigration? Like, what's your long-term plan?
So our I-140 is approved, Jim, and yeah, so both our I-140s are approved, but we are waiting for our priority date to be current. I don't think that the priority date is going to turn current anytime soon. That's where we are right now.
So in other words, at some point in the future,
yeah,
might be 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 8 years from now, you'll probably get a green card interview, and you're going to have to go in and explain yourself to a USCIS officer to obtain lawful permanent resident status. And I would say that H-1B holders owning an LLC, passive, active, or otherwise, they're going to be sitting across from the officer and trying to justify that was permissible under the regulations. So if you're someone who would feel comfortable with arguing that position, then maybe you go ahead and do it. If that scares you and makes you nervous and makes you think to yourself, wow, if I do that and that even decreases my chances of getting approved for a green card by even 1%, then I would never want to do it. Then I think you might make a different decision. It's a gray area. I can't tell you exactly what to do. I mean, the laws haven't been changed on this since the early 90s. So the laws are way out of date with the way reality works. And I would also say that probably never anticipated the per country caps and delays and all that stuff. So I think it all goes to your comfort level. And I think probably even you're going to throw a little bit into the mix. Well, what are the real chances of this business that I want to be the passive and then active member of even really taking off? And do I really want to risk my green card for that? And like I said, different people are going to answer that questions differently.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Thanks, Jim.
Good luck, my friend. Max says, you said in a recent interview or video that cases are moving much faster in 2025, mainly due to deportation quotas. This is my theory, Max. I don't know it for sure. Does that entail that fraud units are also moving much faster and acting on tips? I think the fraud units are expanding. I don't know acting on tips so much. I don't know that at least in my experience as an immigration lawyer so far, maybe in general. Safal is here. Hello.
Hey Sam, how are you?
Well, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I have this question. So I recently got my H-1B change of status approved recently, and my position is fully remote. So if I, move to a different place in the same MSA, then do I have to change anything apart from my AR-11, or do I have to do H-1B petition again?
Well, definitely you have to do AR-11. Whether you have to do a new petition, that's up to the employer. So you should check with them. Does USCIS know that your position is fully remote?
Yes.
Okay. So if they come knocking on your door to see where you work, that would be your house?
Yes.
And they know that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I would just check with the company lawyers and see what approach they want to take.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Safal. Hey, Laura, I have a question. So I got a little bump underneath my glasses right here. And twice in the last week or so, I've scratched it, and then just blood starts like shooting out. Like it's been crazy. It's a little bitty bump, and just the blood comes shooting out. And usually that doesn't happen. It happened once on my ear about a year ago. Is there anything you can think of with that? Is it just because it's close to a vein? I don't know. It was sort of weird. I looked like I was Rocky Balboa. I had blood all over my nose. It was crazy. Cornered. Hello.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you, Jim, for doing what you are doing. I'm a little concerned. A very clean, straightforward case. I came to US as a student back in 2015 for my master's. Cleared that up, got OPT, STEM OPT, green card through employer, everything straightforward. Applied for my wife. She is documentary qualified, still waiting. Uh, I was reluctant what's going on right now to apply for N400. I saw your videos, general things. I applied. I'm blessed. No complaints. No, everything is good. There's one thing which I just came up. I submitted earlier this month my N400. I I saw that and I submitted it up, and now when I was getting prepared for my interview, there's 100 question. There is thing about jury duty. I was never aware that green card cannot attend jury duty. So I was summoned back, uh, and now when I checked online, people are saying you usually get a questionnaire in which you mention that you are green card holder and you exclude. I never did that. I was aware 100% that I cannot be claimed as a U.S. citizen. That's one of the rule. So, but I never got a questionnaire because it was a summon. I just went to the court. No one asked anything. I was not part of any jury, neither, and I was very vigilant because I know I cannot claim anywhere. Uh, I was just waiting in the lobby. They just gave me a questionnaire, general questions. What you will do in this situation, X situation. They just asked those. I filled out, and they said you can leave. So now I'm not sure. Is that a problem?
So, what state do you live in?
Delaware.
And do you remember getting a driver's license in Delaware, whether they asked if you wanted to register to vote or anything?
So no, they never asked it, but they asked my green card. I showed them my green card. That's how I got my driver license. I concerned another attorney. He sent me a link for Delaware registration board. He said verify that. Have you claimed that? I said never. I never registered. He sent me a link. He said put your details, and I put it as the state of Delaware website, and it never show my information as a registered vote.
Okay. Well, then I would say that you need to investigate this. And, like, let's just use me as an example, okay? Let's say I'm a green card holder, Jim Hacking green card holder, okay? And I live in St. Louis County, Missouri. And if I got a jury summons that I thought I shouldn't have and shouldn't have gotten, then what I would do is I would go to St. Louis County court office and talk to the court clerk and say, hey, Ms. or Mr. Clerk, why did I get this jury summons? I'm not a U.S. citizen. And ask them to look in their system to figure out why you thought it was okay to send me a jury summons. And I suspect that somewhere along the line, somebody registered you to vote, because otherwise you wouldn't be on the jury roll. So I would imagine it's related to your driver's license. Unless you signed some kind of a petition or something, or like somebody knocked on your door and said, hey, it's time to register or to, renew your driver's license. I think somewhere with a driver's license, I think that's probably what it was. So you need to work backwards. And the best place to start, I think, is with the court clerk of the people that sent you that jury summons.
So that was back in 2020, just after once I got my green card. It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
So
That's okay. I'd still do it. It's okay.
Okay.
I mean, just go there and say, do you have me on your jury rolls? Because you shouldn't, because I'm not a citizen.
Okay. So
But I also think that you can honestly say that you've never made a false claim to citizenship.
I never did because I knew that. I 100% for sure. I checked every document. No one asked anything on that. It was just some general question, and they said, and I never see a judge, no trial, nothing, and they said you leave.
Okay. I think it should be okay. I would clean this all up and then I would apply for citizenship.
So that's the thing. I already applied. After that, I got to know this month.
Oh,
When I started preparing for my N400, after this 100 questions, there is a portion that what's the right of citizen. Then I said, oh, I never did this. So, and then I checked back to the state website, as the other attorney mentioned. I don't see, it says you are not part of it. You haven't registered for vote.
yeah. So I think you can say with a very clear heart, I've never made a false claim to citizenship, and you could leave it alone. But I also think it's better to try to clean it up.
So I should just go back to the court and check it up that I'm registered or not. And if they say no, then everything is good.
Yeah.
and if they say, oh, there is, and there is, you are registered, so I just remove me, I'm a green card holder?
Yeah, but we want that to be in writing and we want documentation.
From, okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your help. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. All right, remind me never to ask Laura about medical stuff. And she said, I'm not on blood thinner, everybody. AJ says, body getting bruised easily is not a good sign. My body doesn't get bruised easily. But Laura said, get that looked at, Jim. The area is called the Triangle of Death. The Triangle of Death. It's high risk for infections that can kill you. Oh, great. I'm going to be dead. I'm going to be dead. Oh, my God. I hope I'm not dead from a little. I think it's just a zit. I don't know. I'm not going to pick it because blood will start. I could recreate it for you guys. That would be sort of fun. Mo is here. Hello, Mo. Mo, are you there? Hello. Oh, I clicked the wrong person. Mo, here we go. Hi, Mo.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, man, how are you? So we have situation. I mean, me and my wife been married for like 6 years. She's an American citizen. So we did apply for N400 last year, like in March. And so we had like I-751 pending, but we had an interview like in September. We, like you said earlier, I think somebody was asking, don't believe what the officers say. So officer said, everything looks good. We'll get you approved by today or tomorrow. Just keep an eye on your online case. But we got RFE in November, surprisingly. So in the RFE, they were asking for the same documents that we already submitted, like when we applied for N400. So we did submit everything up again with more photos when everything stopped. So they got received the RFE on December 4th last year. But it's been like since then, we haven't heard anything for RFE. So we tried to, I mean, for some reason, our lawyers are not too helpful. I'm trying to do extra stuff from our side. My wife did reach out to the Senate office. They sent the Baltimore office, and they said, oh, your case has not been overlooked. Give us like 60 days. But it's like 5 more days left for the 60 days to complete. So we don't know, like we're like in a situation very frustrated, like what's going on, if there's anything we can provide more documents, but just need your advice on it.
Awesome. I got lots of good questions for you. Okay. So are you the petitioner or the beneficiary?
Beneficiary.
Okay. And before you married your spouse, were you in status or out of status?
Out of status.
Okay. And were either of you married before?
No, never.
And when you received your original green card, did you have an interview?
I did, yes.
And did they separate you?
No.
Was that a different field office?
No, it was in Baltimore.
Okay. And so give me the timeline. Roughly, when did your 2-year green card start?
That started in 2020. 2020 till 2022. So they gave me that extension letter for 48 months in 2022.
So your 751 has been on file for 3 years?
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. Everything's okay with the marriage?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason. Like, we've been asking, you need more proof. We don't know what's going on. We kind of like in a situation where it's kind of insane.
Have you lived apart at all?
No, we still live together.
And so, okay, so I guess you filed for citizenship about a year after you filed the 751, like regular people?
No, so we applied 751 in 2023, but the N400 we applied last year. So a year after that.
Okay. And did you file the 751 or the N400 or both with a lawyer or no?
With a lawyer, yes.
Same lawyer?
Yeah.
And you're saying that, okay, did the RFE that you mentioned come before or after the interview?
After.
Okay. So you have this interview, and did they do the N400 interview or just the 751?
So they didn't. Okay, so I thought that's what lawyer told me, like it's a combined interview, right? So
Yeah.
we went together, right? But my friend was going through something the same, but his notice says I-751 and N400. But when I checked mine, that only said N400. So even the officer was like, oh, so you have I-751 pending when she was done with my question with the citizenship, right? She was like, hold on, let me look at it. She went through a computer. She like, yeah, everything looks good. But then I don't know.
All right. So when was the interview that you had?
For N400? September 23rd last year, 2024.
Time to sue, bro.
I just don't know like what's the right thing for us to do, because my wife is kind of so like frustrated. So I'm just trying to keep her calm down and like let me look at the options we can do. So what exactly we can do then?
So before I get into that, and I'll be happy to tell you that in just a second. Sometimes this question I'm going to ask you is one of my favorite questions, and sometimes I learn a lot based on what people. Well, first of all, before I ask the magic question, what did they ask for? You said they sent you an RFE on the 751. Was it for more marriage evidence or something else?
So the I-751 RFE, that was like 3-4 years ago. That was only for like the joint sponsorship, because my wife wasn't making match that time. But that was 4 or 5 years ago.
That was on the green card.
No, RFE was an N400.
What did the N400 RFE, what was that?
So that RFE said we need more documents as evidence of you guys being together, which asked the same things that my lawyer submitted in March the same year.
Got it.
To file the N400.
Thanks. Okay.
Yeah, then we submitted almost the same documents with the file taxes, leases, our phone bills, utility bills, insurances, phone bills, like whatever we could.
If you had to guess, why haven't they approved these cases?
I have no idea, to be honest. Like I have tried to talk to so many people. Everybody just tells me like this is insane. So I have no answer.
Do you have any enemies?
I do not. You know what? One thing can happen, like when initially we got married, me and my wife, so we had some issues, but that was like 5 years ago, and I was going through the immigration, right? When I was traveling somewhere, coming back. So I think they always take me back for no reason. They were like, and then they just let me go after 5-10 minutes. And that time they just checked my phone. So I think they saw an old text message, like with somebody. I think that was a little something they find inappropriate. And that's what they're like, okay, you know what? Have you filed your at 751 extension? I'm like, not yet. He was pretty rude, Chicago, right? He was like, I'll see how you do that. I was like, but I have nothing wrong, He's like, have you cheated on your wife? I'm like, no, never. I know this is a text message, but it's normal in every relationship. It's between me and my wife. And then he's like, okay, we'll see. But he let me go then.
So that's it.
I don't know.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. Yep.
So what's the solution to it now?
So I know your wife might be nervous, and I know this might sound scary, but you and your wife should file a lawsuit with our office in Maryland. It's one of the best. It's one of the best places to sue. They don't get mad. I've probably sued Baltimore field office 100 times. And the best thing about suing the Baltimore field office, there's two good things. Number one, usually when I serve a new office, they have 60 days to reply, but Baltimore doesn't wait those 60 days. They just get started on finishing up the case. Right. And number two, we know the U.S. attorneys in the Baltimore or the Maryland U.S. attorney's office, so they're very good to work with. So the nice thing is, so it might sound scary, like Jim and Mo and Mrs. Mo are going to march into court and show them what's what. Like, we're going to get the judge on our side. We're going to have a trial and do all this stuff. That's not what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to say, Jim, I want to hire you to sue them on my delayed N400 and my delayed 751. And I say, okay. We get all your documents. We file a lawsuit in federal court. We file it next week. They get a copy of it in about 2 weeks. And then probably a month after that or so, they'll say, Jim, this is what we're going to do. We're going to approve it. We're going to deny it, or we're going to schedule Mo and his spouse for one more interview.
Yeah.
The thing is, the reason I'm happy about your case, because we sue for all kinds of delays, but the best kind of lawsuits and the ones they don't fight us on very much at all are when the interview has happened on the N400 plus 120 days. So that's why I'm happy that because actually what happens when we sue on those kinds of cases, the federal court takes over control of your case so that USCIS can't fuck with us as easily. And And then what they have to do is they say, Jim, okay, we're ready to issue a decision. Please agree to send it back to USCIS and we'll tell you what we're going to do. So that's what I would do if I were you. And you're not going to see the judge. Your wife's not going to see the judge. No one's going to have to testify in court. None of that stuff. It's just a way to get their attention and to get them to finish your case.
Okay. So I would love to actually do that because that has been like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like it feels like very unfair and waste of time and money because we want to travel and my wife kind of scared of, traveling and I hate that. Being a family person, it's just something ridiculous that's happening. So you think should I wait because it's only 10 more days left for them to be complete 60 days and then I start doing all this?
Mo, I don't know how long you've been watching the show, but all that stuff they say to people is bullshit. 10 days.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah.
No, you've done the required waiting, which is 120 days.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right then. So I can reach you guys out through your website, right? Because it's the first time I've seen your show. So.
Yeah, Hooli, did you get Mo's contact? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Hooli's got your contact. We'll reach out before the end of the day. Okay.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Jam.
Going through that. See you, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. My friend says I'm no family person. I don't know if they're talking to me. I don't know. Hope not. I feel like I'm a family person. I like my family. That was Mo. Let's go to G-Rod. Hello. Hello, G-Rod. Sad yellow face. Is that a Pokemon? I don't know. All right. They're not here. So we're going to go to Fugly. Hello, Fugly.
Hello, Jim. Thanks for taking our questions. I really appreciate it. So, Jim, I have a very brief question. I'm on an O1A extension, and I have an approved EB1A I-140, but it's company sponsored. It's not self-sponsored. So, is there any advantage of me filing another I-140 EB1A category, which is self-sponsored?
Why would you do that?
I'm not very sure, Jim, but is there any truth to what I hear is that for self-sponsored EB1A applicants, you don't need to file supplement J, and you don't need to provide a letter of employment or proof of employment at the time of adjustment of status, but you do need to do this for company-sponsored EB1A applicants.
Yeah, but what's the big deal?
The thing is, in case I change employers, I mean, I'd have to get it transferred. My current I-140 would have to be transferred to my new employer. And the other thing is, if I were to leave the country and then come back when my priority date is current, I would again have to look for a job.
So your priority date is not current?
No, unfortunately, it's retrogressed, deeply retrogressed.
How much?
I'm an Indian applicant, so it's April 2022.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on an O1 and you're an EB1A, that probably means you're pretty high level, which means you'd probably get one approved on a self-petition. So I would say there's probably not much downside to it. It keeps your options open. I generally like having more than one option. So if you want to, I'm not going to object.
I see. And is there any other difference, Jim, between self-sponsored and company-sponsored EB1A applicants after the I-140 is approved?
No, generally not.
So the only difference is supplement J is required for one category, whereas it's not required for the second category. Is that correct?
Yep.
I see. That's my only question. So I look into probably filing a self-petition I-140 once again. Thank you so much for your time, Jim.
Peace, brother. All right, Callie's here. Hello. Callie, are you there? Callie's having some mic problems. We'll put them in timeout. Let's go to Kiddos. Hello, Kiddos.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Well, how are you doing?
Great. I have a few questions for you. If you can just I'm seeking for your advice. I am naturalized citizen through my parents. N600, I believe, but I'm not so sure. After getting my citizenship, I got into trouble. I had a second-degree assault and DUI reduced to reckless driving, and I'm planning to travel in the next month. What would you advise me?
I would advise you to do a Freedom of Information Act request. So, I mean, if you don't know your immigration history, you're never going to be able to explain it to a CBP officer. So before you go anywhere, you want to know exactly the date you became a citizen, how you became a citizen, when you became a citizen, where you became a citizen, and be able to explain that in under 60 seconds. So if you did naturalize on an N600 based on the naturalization of your custodial parents, any crimes that would have happened after that, they can't use that against you. But if it's some kind of crime that was, if you naturalized through the N400 process, and it was some kind of crime that could have been going on while you were naturalizing, that would be a problem. So I would not travel outside the United States until I was the one person on earth who knew my immigration history better than anybody else.
So how can I retain that information?
So there's an online form that you can fill out. It's free.
Okay.
It's called a G639.
Hold a minute. Wait a minute. Let me write it down. Okay.
I'll put it in the comments.
Okay.
G639. It's FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. And are your parents still alive?
Yeah. Okay.
I would fill one out for both of your parents and for you. I think it's all good information to have.
Okay.
Because you might need stuff out of their files to boost your file, if that makes sense.
Okay. So I'm actually traveling in about maybe a month or so. So
don't do it.
Don't travel.
Uh-uh.
How long is it going to take that to retain that information?
I think 2 or 3 months.
So I should extend my travel. Okay.
I would if I were you.
Even though I am a U.S. citizen, then I'm still being a risk.
You think you're a U.S. citizen? You haven't convinced me that you are yet.
Yes, I am. I am a U.S. citizen.
You haven't convinced me of that.
Yeah. I mean, I have a passport, and I retain my citizenship through my parents.
Maybe.
No, it is.
Okay. But the State Department makes mistakes. So you have not convinced me that you are a U.S. citizen because you can't articulate it. You can't tell me how it happened or when it happened.
Well, what happened is that I believe about 10 or 12 years ago that I filed. I retained a lawyer and I filed.
So just get the documentation so that when you travel, you have it with you and you can walk them through why you're a citizen, and they should leave you the fuck alone.
But the problem is the lawyer that I hired, he passed away.
Well, we don't need him to do the FOIA. Just do the FOIA.
Okay. So I mean, I'm 100% U.S. citizen, natural U.S. citizen.
That's what you keep saying, but you haven't convinced me of it.
Okay, how can I? What do you want me to say to convince you?
Well, you qualified it again. You said number one, 10 or 20 years ago, so that's a big gap, and you also said I believe. I
know I'm U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Yeah, through my parents.
I don't know that
because I came here when I was 17 years old. That qualifies me to be a U.S. citizen.
Did you have a green card?
Yeah, I got. I came here with diversity.
So you're getting better.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting better at articulating how you're a U.S. citizen. But
so we came here through the diversity visa lottery.
Yeah.
So, but my father was here before us. So. We retain our citizenship through him.
Did your father become a citizen before you turned 18?
Yeah, he was here for way before that we came here. So
okay, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is,
yes.
If you think I'm being hard on you, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. I want to be hard on you. Actually,
I'm trying to get you ready to talk to a CBP official about why you're a U.S. citizen in case. 1% chance that it comes up. Okay, I gotta go.
Okay, so file. What was the form again?
G639.
G639. Thank you, G.
Good luck, brother. Oh, mean old Jim. G-Rod is back. Let's see what they got. G-Rod.
Hey, can you hear me this time?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I just had a few quick questions. So my wife and I actually have our interview for the marriage-based AOS on Monday. One of my questions is, she is here on the CHNV parole, and they got a notice that as of June 13th, their work authorization and their status essentially was revoked. She worked, and that was like a Friday. She worked until the Monday. When we go into the interview and they ask if she worked unlawfully, I'm assuming that's something we just disclose and say she worked an extra few days.
You're a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Yeah. If they ask, has she ever worked in the United States without authorization? I don't know. I would say, if I were you, this is what I would say. These are the days that my spouse worked. I don't know if it was with authorization or without, because you guys have been fucking around with EADs so much and whether or not they're valid. What I know is the dates that she worked. Whether or not she worked without authorization, that's a legal conclusion for you to make, not me. I don't know. I can just tell you the days that she worked.
Okay, gotcha. And then since she came on that parole program, I know earlier or in one of the videos from yesterday, you were saying obviously if you file asylum, it's not something that obviously that's the one country you don't travel to.
Yeah.
Now, on something like the CHNV parole, she didn't want to seek asylum because of that. Is that something that you would still advise not to go back to?
Well, we're not talking going anywhere until she gets her green card, right?
Right, correct.
And I mean, the thing I would say, brother, is I would ask her not to leave until she actually gets her citizenship.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I think that's another plan of attack that they're going to start messing with people is if they're outside the United States. So until the whole CHNV litigation gets wrapped up, if I get my green card, I'd be happy to get my green card, and I wouldn't leave the United States until I got my citizenship.
Okay, and so if they ask if we have any plans for trips in the interview, just if we do, it'd be ones that are essentially still in the United States, or
Yeah.
if we were planning on going on Puerto Rico, is that an iffy territory?
Not if she has a green card.
Okay. Alrighty.
But I wouldn't do it.
Okay, gotcha. Let me just check my questions here. Okay. As far as a translator for her, we have one. He's kind of sounding a little shaky. I haven't checked online yet to see if do they automatically have like an over the phone translator if something happens.
It's on you. Nope.
Okay.
Your burden.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, I appreciate all you do and taking the time.
Good luck on Monday. Let us know how it goes, okay?
Okay, will do. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Peace, brother. Lizzie, I know that you're asking that again about the session. I'm swamped. I'm not taking on any new sessions anytime soon. We are stretched to the limits right now. So the show's all I got. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see. Cooley got some more for me. Let's go back to Callie.
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I've been trying to get on your show for the past day or so since the last one. I have good news. Jim. I applied for my 601A waiver. I'm back in June 16 of 2022, and just July 21st of 2025, I got it approved.
Nice.
So I have the I-601A. I am qualified with the NBC, and now I have my 601A waiver. My question to you, because I'm still nervous, what would happen if I fix it? Like, let's say I make a wrong turn and,
Well, what's your plan? What are you going to do? I thought your question was going to be, Jim, what do you think about me leaving with my 601A? I thought that's what you were going to ask me, but that's not what you're asking me.
I already asked you that, and you said that was okay.
But I'm nervous.
Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm beyond nervous. My nerves are just shot. And I think once I get the actual date to go, then I'd be a little bit more nervous.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you've obviously been here for more than 2 years, right?
Yeah, I've been here since I'm turning 36 in next week.
Okay. Well, happy birthday.
Thanks.
You're asking me, Jim, now that I have this thing approved, what should I be thinking about as far as what to carry on me in case ICE comes and gets me, or in case I run into ICE?
Correct. Because I know I'm not legally here,
Right.
but I have the paperwork and I'm just waiting on them. And what's it called? The counselor is going to be Juarez. So I know that it takes a little bit longer, probably months, I believe is what I was researching.
I think it's gonna be a while longer than that. Yeah. Have you ever been in removal proceedings?
No, I've never had a run-in with immigration, thank goodness.
So the question is, if ICE came upon such a person right now, even with an approved 601A, what would they do? And I think, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the only thing, if I'm you and I'm in that scenario and ICE comes upon me, and I would have sort of my immigration paperwork with me, including my approved 601A, and I would ask them not to put me into removal, but I think they probably still would. But, you want to demonstrate that you've been here for more than 2 years so you don't get expedited removal, and then you just have a court date with the judge and you have to tell them what your situation is.
Okay. And then I'm assuming that if I do go in front of a judge, that I won't have to go to Juarez anymore?
That's a good question. How long did you say that you've been here?
34 years now. Almost 34 years.
No problems with law enforcement?
No. Oh, well, I had like a traffic citation of driving without a driver's license, but I have a driver's license now, and improper lane change.
And no DACA, right?
No, the DACA wasn't approved.
Okay. Yeah, so I would say if you got to put in removal, yeah, you would probably have a plan of attack. You'd probably go for cancellation of removal, and you would have to reprove, the stuff that you proved for the waiver. But I would think the fact that they approved a waiver would be helpful towards that. But yeah, it would be, you wouldn't leave the United States. Most likely you'd probably try to do it all here.
Mm-hmm.
But those have its own, obviously you don't want to get put in removal on the hopes of that. So
okay, that was going to be the next question, is what if we don't? Okay.
All right, good luck, and I'm happy your 601A got approved.
Thank you so much, Jim. You do an amazing job. Thank you.
Yep, see ya. All right. Look at this. Just like picking at a pimple. It's not a pimple. It's not a tumor. It's not a pimple. It's just like a little, I don't know, scrape. It was a scrape, I think. It's not like a blackhead or a yellow pussy thing. It's just blood. Just like picking at a pimple in the triangle of death, the percentage of green card holders denied entry to the United States after travel is small, but the risk itself is of high consequence. Oh my God, I'm in the triangle of death. Jesus Christ. Okay, everybody, have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow. Hey, we got a comment from LinkedIn. That hardly ever happens. Hey, Abello, how you doing? Oh my God, a boil. I got a lance of boil. It's like the plagues and shit. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. 11 a.m. tomorrow for episode 876. Listen, we're only 25 episodes away from episode 900 of the show. That'll be craziness. Yeah, I got to not pick at it. That's right. Because just when it's about ready to dry up and fall off, then I pick at it again. It's bad. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for the free medical advice, Laura. I appreciate it. Oh, Epic likes my picture of my family back there. Thanks. Yeah, TikTok gets a different angle than you guys. All right. What am I doing tonight? Chilling. I'm going to bed. I only had 4 hours of sleep. So anyway, peace out. Bye, guys. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.